Welcome to the video guide for the installation of the N1 Low Voltage Series single-phase hybrid inverter. Take a moment to inspect the accessories of the packages. Make sure to verify all accessories against the package information. Prepare the cables as recommended. Ensure that the installation tool is completely prepared before beginning the installation process. Please ensure the package is undamaged before opening it. Once confirmed, proceed to unpack the inverter and accessories. Verify that inverter is not scratched or damaged. Determine an appropriate installation position that can sustain the weight of the inverter and meet the space requirement. Use the mounting bracket as a template to mark the positions for the 4 holes. Drill holes one by one. Drive the plastic sleeves of the expansion bolts into the drilled holes. Tighten the expansion screw to fix the mounting plate to the wall. Hang the inverter on the mounting bracket. Secure the mounting bracket to the inverter with fastening screw. Before you start, get familiar with the wiring areas of the inverter. This is N1 Low Voltage Single-Phase Hybrid Inverter System on-grid application scenario. Before connecting cables, ensure that the DC switch on the inverter is OFF. Ensure that the AC breakers are off. Strip insulation from the PE wire with a wire stripper. Pass the wire through the heat shrink tubing and the ground terminal. Crimp the ground terminal with a crimping tool. Slide the heat shrink tube over the crimp terminal. Use a heat gun to heat the heat shrink tube. Tighten the ground wire onto the inverter's ground terminal. Before connecting cables, ensure that the DC switch on the inverter is off. Strip the insulation 7 mm from the end of PV cable. Crimp the PV cable. Ensure it is seated correctly by feeling or hearing a click. Tighten the DC positive connector. Strip the insulation 7 mm from the end of PV cable. Crimp the PV cable. Ensure it is seated correctly by feeling or hearing a click. Tighten the DC negative connector. Ensure the voltage of each PV string does not exceed the inverter's maximum input voltage, Vmax, under any condition. Connect the PV strings to the PV input port of the inverter. Remove the cover screw. Pull outward first, then push up to open the cover. Here is an introduction to each internal terminal. Take off the plastic cover from the battery terminal. Remove screws from battery positive and negative terminal. Pass battery positive cable through lock nut. Tighten battery positive cable to inverter positive terminal. Pass battery negative cable through lock nut. Tighten battery negative cable to inverter negative terminal. Put the plastic cover back on the battery terminal. Connect the positive cable to the battery positive terminal. Connect the negative cable to the battery negative terminal. Connect the BMS communication cable to the CAN port of the battery. Strip the insulation from load cable. Strip 15 mm of insulation from the ends of L, N, and PE cables. Slip on heat shrink tubing and pin terminals. Crimp the terminals. Heat the heat shrink tubing. Crimp L, N, PE wires same method. Pass the load cable through the lock nut. Insert L, N, PE wires into the corresponding terminals. Tighten the screws. Pass the grid cable through the lock nut. Insert L, N, PE wires into the corresponding terminals. Tighten the screws. Take off the waterproof rubber boot. Pass CT/BMS wires through lock nuts separately. Pass CT/BMS wires through waterproof boots separately. Connect the CT wire to the corresponding CT plus and CT ports, black wire to CT plus, white wire to CT. Connect the BMS wire to the BMS CAN port. Refit the waterproof gland. CT arrow toward the inverter. Clip the CT onto the live wire under main breaker, arrow toward the inverter. Here are some wrong CT installation cases. Make sure to install it in the right direction and position. Tighten all lock nuts. Close inverter cover and tighten locking screw. Plug Wi-Fi module into inverter Wi-Fi port. For Wi-Fi module configuration, refer to the Wi-Fi user manual. Turn on AC. Turn on inverter DC switch. Turn on battery. Enter the settings menu. Enter quick setting. Select the grid connection standard and save. Select the battery type and save. Select work mode and save. Select PV input mode and save. If a CT is installed, select CT and save. Enable power limited and set export power to 0.